Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again for another Appalachian Trail community news and THru HIker update. We got a ton of stuff going on. Sorry it was late. I have had the opportunity to get out and do a section hike Sobo from Mount Rogers through Grayson Highlands and down to Damascus, about 50 miles. Into last week and over this weekend, so it was a really good time. I'll be sharing that with you. Got to see a ton of THru hikers out there, and just a lot of the hiker community had a ball, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. Froze our rear ends off, but it was still a great time. But let's go ahead and get on with what you came here for, and that is what's going on with the trail community and the Appalachian Trail THru hikers. So we've still got one 2020 fella out there, and that is Frosty the Snowbow. He is somewhere north of Pearisburg, Virginia, and he indicated that the Peters Mountain area still has that closure due to that down power line. So he had to shuttle around. There is no bypass trail around that, so you will have to catch a shuttle. He got one from one of the hostels up there, so it wasn't a problem for him to do that, other than you just can't get around it. There's some other things that are coming up for particularly the first of this week where folks may have to shuttle around. We've got some trail closures. We'll talk about those in just a minute. So he's only 2020, but we got tons of 2021. Moose Liver, she got on the trail up in Damascus, and she signed the book down at Amicalola Falls State Park Visitor Center and then drove to Damascus. She was number 497. She then drove to Damascus and got on the trail up there somewhere around mile 500. Jordan Heisler, he started along with Just Jim and Nemo. They got on the trail. Pino has crossed into North Carolina. The Bacos, they had to get off the trail for a few days. They had some problems, shoe problems. So they went and traded out their zero drops there in Franklin for something other than zero drops. And the Outdoor 76 there, who are known all around the trail for helping people with any type of foot issues and shoe issues and leg issues. They really helped me out with my shoes when I went there, so I highly recommend them. They've got them straightened out, and they took a few days off to rest, recuperate, and now they are back on trail, and they are past Franklin. Pookie Bear continues to disappear. So he has lost, I think last week we said he lost 18 pounds. He has lost 31 pounds, and he's made it to Franklin with a 50-pound pack. So 50 pounds is a lot to be hauling. He's losing a lot of weight. Correlation there? You be the judge. Josh Farmer, he is north of Albert Mountain. Subman and Suds with 2 Ps, they are out of the Smokies and heading on toward Max Patch and into Hot Springs, along with Ultra. She is north of Hot Springs. Justin Hammond and Chicken and Dumpling, they made it to Dix Creek, and they should be in North Carolina by now. Hawk Maines, he is going to be sitting in Fontana Lodge in 7 days from the time he got on the trail. So that is freaking phenomenal. I know he's not trying to do a fastest known time and FKT, and that's not who he is. He just likes getting out there and hiking and making big miles. But in any case, he did say that was the fastest he had ever gotten there. So I guess he knows his way around that trail. He could probably do it blindfolded by now. But in any case, that's awesome, Hawk. And you Hawk support team and fans out there, I know y'all are loving that. So he is going to try to get on through the Smokies while he's got good weather this week, and he shouldn't have any trouble with that. Everforward, he made it on the trail this week. And Greg Pfeiffer, he got a trail name, Captain Americas, and he has made it to Fontana. Chris and Erica Burke, they should be in North Carolina any day now. And Crusoe and Night Train, they are back on the trail, so that's awesome. They had a little bit of injury going on there, but in any case, they're back. They said they're at about a 75%, but they have been beat up and been through harder things. And so they are back on trail. They said the weather's incredible, and they are into a decent size bubble. Trainwreck, he's in the Smokies. Tom Tomzik has started on the trail down at Amicalola. Sutton's, they have passed 500 miles, and I know that for a fact because I was there right after they did and actually met up with them at camp. So that was pretty awesome to get to meet them. I'll be including them in my update when I show that section that I did and do that video for y'all. So really cool to meet them and little man. They're just an awesome family. And we would have spent more time together, but it was 7 degrees or less wind chill where we were at Elk Garden Gap. So it was just crazy cold, and the only thing you could really do was, hey, how do you do? Let's take a picture. Let me get in the tent. And so we hunkered down in the tent, cooked in the tent because it was just way, way, way windy. Had to get out of the wind. THru HIker man, he started this week, and he has made it to Neil Gap. JD on the AT, he has made it past 100 miles. Not so much made it to Hampton and is on his way to Damascus. Pyro, he made it to Sam's Gap, and before he has gotten up with Cujo now, but before he got up with Cujo, and Cujo's is his dog, before he got up with Cujo, though, he rescued a cat there at the Deer Park Mountain Shelter. Somebody had left a cat. He said it's about 7 weeks old and starving. So he picked it up, put it on his pack. It rode his pack till, I guess, the next gap, or at least for a few days. And now he says it's going to a good home. So that is awesome. Glad to hear that. Thank you so much for doing that, Pyro. We got to look after all of God's creatures, including each other. But we got to look out for the cats and too. I know a lot of you aren't cat people out there. I'm a cat person, so thanks, Pyro. Uphill is at Fontana Village and heading into the Smokies. And he said he had passed 11 no-bows and 2 sobos between the Knock and the Fontana Hilton. And he also said there was about four thru hikers down at the Fontana Hilton when he was there. Stifler and her crew of 4 humans and 5 dogs, they are in the Franklin area. Aspinock, he is in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Mr. Freeze on his way to Damascus. And while I was coming through Grayson Highlands, I passed 3 Chairs. So don't think 3 Chairs has social media. Don't know if he watches this or not. We talked a little bit about it, but 3 Chairs is doing the Eastern Continental Divide Trail. We talked about that last week, and there's another person that we do have on our list. He's doing that as well, and of course that is all the way from Key West up to Newfoundland. So I hope I got it right that time, folks. All you folks from Canada, I hope that I got the pronunciation of Newfoundland is what I said it last week, and I got joked on for that, so it's Newfoundland. So there you go. She's the One is going to be this week in Fontana Village and getting ready to enter the Smokies. Jet's on the way to Dix Creek. Soa made it to Franklin, and his dog Dixie will be going home with his son until he gets on the other side of the Smokies. The Blazing Bakers, they are in the Irwin area. Mike and Kathy, they're in Damascus, and Gramps is in the Franklin area. Freight Train, like I said, he is somewhere around the Georgia-North Carolina border. Not Today is in the Roan area. The Vintage Hikers, they are around Big Bald. And Freight Train did say that he has a huge family that they're hiking with, and that consists of Chill, Pebbles, Bam Bam, Trailbait, Hamilton, Meat Suit. I don't know how you get a trail name like Meat Soup. Lanace, High Class, Blue Tom, Everclear. I know how you get Everclear. Captain, Fun Fact, Hillbilly, Moonshine, and Jet. So just to let you folks know that there are signs everywhere that said groups of 10 is the limit. You cannot have groups of 11 when you're hiking out there. So those folks will consume at a shelter and then some as they're hiking together. Shaker got on the trail. She's the One in Sloth. They're around Fontana. And Monk, he made it to the trail this week, and he was number 556 in the book down in Amicalola Falls State Park. So we had a few folks that had to get off the trail. We had Greenleaf and Apple Pie. They are our first Sobo team of the year. They are true Sobo, started at Katahdin, and they had to get off because Apple Pie broke a tooth, going to have surgery, and then also because Greenleaf is an arborist, and he has a tree cutting business, among other things they do, but that's one of the things. And so his company was having a hard time staying together without him at the helm. So speaks a lot for his leadership, but unfortunately, that is going to be something that they need to continue while they're away. And if that can't happen, he had to go back to that. Marshall Hall got off due to an ankle injury coming down Blood Mountain, and if you've ever come down Blood Mountain, you can understand how that can happen. And then Gaddy is also off due to an injury. So due to hiking through the Mount Rogers area in Graceland and doing about 50 miles up there, I did not have time to go through the over almost 400 people we have on our hiker support list and give a shout out to those folks that are starting this week. But I will go back. I'll be doing an update this coming Sunday, and we'll get back on track, back on schedule, and I will give you a shout out then. So just didn't have time to do it this week, but I appreciate you understanding that. With over 400 or almost 400 people on that list, it's just impossible for me to keep up with everybody. So I greatly appreciate all those folks, those thru hikers that I spoke of. Every one of those sent me an update. I did not have to go out and look for those folks. So thank you so much. And if you want to be included in my update, that is what's going to have to happen, because I cannot keep up. It's gotten bigger than me, that's for sure, with everybody that is out there on the trail. And then also for you folks that are part of the hiker community, part of the trail community, and you send me news that's going on in your section, thank you very much. Continue to do that. I may not always include it because I haven't been able to vet it out or just haven't had time to get all the details about it. But in any case, and to make sure that it's still pertinent as of when this goes out. But in any case, thanks for sending those to me as well. It's just gotten a little out of hand, I can tell you that. But I enjoy doing it, enjoy being part of the hiker community, and this is how I give back to the hiker community. So Atc Registrations, what are they going? Well, Nobo, we've got 2,520 last week, and this week we got 2,591 that are registered Nobo. Flip-floppers, we had 139, and this week we got 143. And Sobo, last week we had 123, and this week we've got 135. So we're increasing on all across the board there. Our total so far is 2,782 last week, so now we are up 87 hikers to 2,869 that are registered on the ATC website. So I have a feeling that there's a whole lot more hikers out there than that. Normally by now, well, last year we were at this time we were at 2,418, so we're way up even on registrations. But I just got a feeling that even though we're up 451 hikers from this time last year, that there's probably more folks out there that just have not registered. And we're still maxed out for almost every day in March. So it's going to continue, the bubbles to continue to move up north. Right now it looks like it's coming into somewhere around the Georgia, North Carolina area. And we've had over 556 folks that have signed the book at Amicalola Falls State Park. But this time last year, we had 836 that signed. So that's another sign that tells me that some folks are probably ditching the ATC registration and even the signing the book down there. You know, typically you would go down there to get your bag tag, sign the book and everything to make it official. And since they're not doing bag tags or anything else official this year, then people are negating that. The average weight is up a little bit this week. It's 33.44 pounds, but that's tracking pretty much where it was last year. When I called down there last year, exactly a year ago, the rangers down there told me it was at 34 pounds. So probably a rounding error for them. So we're at 33.44 with 52 pounds being the heaviest and 20 pounds being the lightest. So wouldn't you like to see those two bags next to each other? But there'd be a big difference. So trail news. Well, the ATC as well as some of the Forest Service have put out that they are going to be doing some prescribed burns on March 10th in North Carolina. Approximately 1 mile of the AT will be closed between Indian Grave Gap, which is mile 352, and Beauty Spot. I hate that for you guys, which is mile 354. And that's in the Pisgah National Forest. So that burn's only going to last for a full day, and there is a temporary reroute on a gravel road right by it. So I have seen some Other dates that say it's from the 10th to the 12th, but then I saw one that definitively said it was going to be on March 10th, and that was it. And then another 4-mile section of the trail is going to be closed between Winding Stair Gap and Siler Bald. So that's right there where Winding Stair comes across the highway just south of Franklin. That's at mile 109 to mile 113. And that's in the Nantahala National Forest. And it's going to be, but it says it's only going to be for 4 hours. So I don't know how you burn much in 4 hours, but in any case, there is no alternate route available. So you're either going to have to shuttle around or wait it out. But there will be signs posted on each of those wherever the trail is closed. And then our northern correspondent, Whispers, got back to me, and he indicated that not much has changed from his last update up north, except something really cool, and that is that Maine has now opened travel without a test or quarantine for COVID for all people that are entering from a New England state. So New England being, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, I suppose Massachusetts and Connecticut, all those up there, those states. So New Hampshire being right next to Maine, of course, is a New England state. So they've dropped that. And of course, Nobos are not near there right now, but that is good news. Things are opening back up. And then something really strange that I saw while we were hiking this past weekend, and that is that some of the bear boxes at the backcountry shelters in the Mount Rogers, Grace, and Highland areas have padlocks on them. Now, I know that the ATC has, in written form, closed the shelters, closed the privies. The privies aren't locked. The shelters are not physically, no physical barrier has been put up, but they have locked, and not all of the bear boxes, but they've locked some of the bear boxes. So I don't know if that's the individual trail clubs that are doing that or the ATC's doing that. Of course, the ATC would be coming out. They would be telling the trail clubs to do that. So, but it doesn't make any sense anyway, because that's not going to prevent people from hiking. You're not going to get to a shelter, see the bear box is locked up, and then go, oh, let's quit our hike. Let's go turn around and go back. That's ridiculous. And those bear boxes there, if you think about it, are really there to protect the bears, because hikers put their food there and all their smelly stuff in a bear box. The bear gets acclimated to the fact that he can't get the smelly stuff out of that box. That's the only place the smelly stuff is. And so he doesn't come back to that shelter to get smelly stuff anymore. But without those being able to do that at a bear box, now they get acclimated to smelly stuff being other places. In the shelter, in trees not properly hung, just put on the ground somewhere, what have you. So I don't understand that. I think that's pretty stupid. But hey, that's my opinion. That and $4 will get you a Starbucks cup of coffee. So hopefully somebody out there knows something. If you do, particularly the ATC who monitors this channel, please by all means chime in and let us know. Or if you're in a trail club, please by all means chime in and let us know what in the name of Ned is going on out there. And then also the Privy at the Elk Garden Gap where we camped for the night, the Privy was locked up. So I know there's other privies that are open. There's privies open down at Woody Gap in Georgia at that national forest, because we saw the family with the dogs, the four family members with the 5 dogs in that privy or public restroom. We saw them there. Of course, the national park, we've seen people that have slept in the Shenandoah restrooms and in the Smokies restrooms. So I don't understand why, if you can open those, why can't you open those up there around Grace and Highlands? So I understand that each Forest Service has its own superintendent who can run his Forest Service pretty much as he pleases. But still, some of that stuff it doesn't make a lot of sense, and a lot of this past year has not made a lot of sense. So speaking of sanitary conditions, one of the things that may have gotten by you last year was that people getting off the trail, not as many people out there. People that were out there taking better precautions, sanitary. We did not have any outbreak of the norovirus, which is usually typical in the spring, and particularly typically starts in the Smokies and really gets bad up in Hot Springs, because that's where people next big town is after you come out of the Smokies. So hopefully we won't have that. I'll leave a link to I did a video maybe 2 years ago on the norovirus. Norovirus hadn't changed much in 2 years. So check that out, but hopefully we won't have that this year, because people are practicing better sanitary hygiene than what they've done before. And then I had a really cool thing that somebody sent me, that Neil Purple Hayes sent me. So this is a logo that I came up with, and I just put it on a sticky note, and took a picture of it, and didn't know what to do with it, or who to talk to about getting it looking better, because I'm not an artist, and this was not what it looked like before. But I sent it to Purple, and he turned it into a work of art. And so this is a bag tag, custom made bag tag that he made for me, and when you hold it up to the light, it becomes a lithopane, and that is really the coolest thing. That is actually my picture off of one of my thumbnails. So that is just really cool how the logo that I created now blends into the picture of me. So I thought that was really neat. And he also has been making some typical bag tags. And so when you hold these up to the light, it's also a lithopane, and it becomes the background is the Katahdin sign. So that is really, really neat. Appreciate that. This one, I know last week that I said that I'd be doing a giveaway again this week, and it would not be a bag tag. Sorry, I lied. Because I got these from Purple, it is going to be, the giveaway this week is a bag tag, and so this will be the giveaway for this one right here. So what that means is that leave a comment down below. I'd like it to go to a THru HIker, but if you want to be entered in the drawing for this, random drawing, then leave the words bag tag at the end of your comment. Make sure you leave those at the end of your comment. Don't just send those to me in an email. A lot of people update me in emails, and that's great. I like that, or they update me through Instagram or Facebook or something, and please continue to do that. But if you want it, or want to be in a drawing, you need to leave a comment down there, because that is how I pick who wins that, through a randomizer that YouTube does to pick one of the comments. So leave the words bag tag at the end of that comment, and I'll send this to you. Or sent out two this year. I sent one to Funkster, and then also sent another one. It went out today to the Hiking Hobbit. So that's pretty cool. Like giving that kind of stuff away. I just think that's the coolest thing. That's just me, but in any case, enjoyed that. So thank you very much there, Purple. Greatly appreciate that. He has a Facebook page, Infinity Squared Creations, and he is actually through hiking this year, so I don't think, and he's getting ready to leave pretty soon, so I don't think he's going to be making those for people. If that changes and he gets back to me, I will let you know, so that you folks can go over and support him and go and have your own bag tag. And so something that's really cool that's going on with the channel is that, of course, we have a podcast for those folks who can't watch the whole thing, or don't have time to watch it at all, but they want to listen to it on a podcast. Last year I had some folks suggest that to me, that it would be easier for them to do that. So I created a podcast. It's not monetized, but I did that just again, as another method to help the hiker community. And I got an email today that we hit number 33 in the leisure category in Korea, and number 43 in the leisure category in Ireland. So I know 33 and 43 are big numbers, but still, there's got to be hundreds that are in that category. So I thought that was pretty cool that mine and yours podcast, because this is a community YouTube channel, and everything that's on the YouTube channel is just downloaded as a podcast. And so this is all something that you and I are doing together. We are in over 11 countries, and in almost, or at least the vast majority of the states in the United States. So I thought that's pretty cool to be not only here, but all over the world, people listening and stuff, and the hiker community, you and I being able to support and grow the hiker community and support the THru HIker. So continue to do that. Continue to do that on this journey with me. It's just pretty neat. It's all about us. I'm just a figurehead here, putting it together and sending it out to folks. But you guys are all helping me do it, and I greatly appreciate that. Folks, that's all I got this week. As always, nope, that's not all I got this week, because I'll be coming out again on Sunday when we get back on track. But as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.